Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Purple Alpha Gaming, and today we're playing some more Bloons Tower Defense 6. So I've heard and seen a lot of videos about one hero onlys or one hero onlys with buffs, but I've never actually seen them be put to the test. So I'm gonna see if, who knows, if this video gets quite a few likes and views. Might try to doing it for every single hero, but at the very least for the time being, I'm gonna start off with Quincy and see if it's possible to beat Chimps mode on logs with just Quincy and support. I wouldn't be particularly surprised if it is beatable, but I also wouldn't be that surprised if it's not. So, of course, some heroes you can't start off with in Chimps, so I might bend the rules a little bit to allow either do something like, I don't know if you've seen Isab's videos, where he like puts a village to the side. I might end up doing that. First off, can Quincy solo round 6? I think he can. He's not that bad, but I have heard, you know, not the best things about Quincy. But let's see. I'm sure he's not that bad. So I think I'm going to rush an Alchemist first thing. I feel like that's probably our best bet to start with. Alchemist, and then we can go for an Overclock. This actually does add a little bit of question. Is it worth upgrading Quincy that much? Because Overclock, if you didn't know, once a tower costs more than $40,000, it just shortens the cooldown a lot. So it's actually, as far as I'm concerned, not worth it to level up Quincy if it ends up costing more than $40,000. So I just want to keep that in mind. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I'm not so sure if it will, but it might. So, of course, no monkey knowledge means heroes are a lot worse than they normally are, because monkey knowledge for heroes, the hero knowledge, is pretty good. It starts them off at level 3, makes them level up faster, does all sorts of buffs, makes them do more damage to Moab, ceramics, fortified balloons. There are just so much that the hero monkey knowledge tree gives to them, and well, it's going to be a lot harder without them. But of course, heroes are pretty good, and heroes do really well when they're buffed. So we're going to see how well this works. Okay, so the early game is pretty basic for these challenges, I'm sure, at the very least for this one. Since all you're really doing is rushing Alchemist, and then we'll see what I actually end up doing after that. I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm just going to, I don't know, go for a stronger stimulant and wait until any round gives us a little bit of trouble, I guess. Okay, I'm actually really surprised how well this Quincy plus Alchemist is working. I guess it makes sense, because I don't know if at all, but I'm pretty sure if he does, it's at much later levels. Quincy is a single damage tower, which means when you add damage to him, it makes a big difference. It's just like Churchill when he got its damage buff. It made him insanely overpowered, or at least a lot better than he was. And I think for the large part, the same thing is true with Quincy. Okay, so what should be our next strategy here? So first off, I think I'm going to go for Jungle Gnomes, because if we think about this, what do we need? So we need Alchemist, which hopefully we can go for Promobrew, but we'll see. We need Village, Jungle Drums, and then in the long run, I guess maybe Call Toms, but that seems a little bit risky. And then we need Overclock. And that's it. So I'm actually going to save my money until any round gives us some trouble, and we'll go from there. Hopefully we're going to reach level 8 here for round 40. If not, round 40 is going to be difficult. Hopefully we don't have to use our ability now. I'd love to save that for 40. But I'm really nervous about the regrow balloons. I'm going to turn off fast forward here. So that's an issue. Last. Definitely want last, because last will target the rainbows, right? No, that was a mistake. Sorry, my micro is bad, and that's going to cost us an exit out. That sucks. So we probably could have avoided that by easily going for Jungle Drums or anything like that, but I'm trying to save my money, and I don't think we really need to do that. So truthfully, I'm not sure if we'll have any issue with the regrow rainbows, but I think once they come out, I am going to switch him to last, just to make sure that there are no issues. so we can take them out straight away. So as soon as there's the break in the rainbows, that means that the regrow rainbows are coming. So we can do that. There we go. Oh, nope, there's a single red balloon, which means that's going to regrow back far. We were able to snipe the blue, but those pinks would get through. Okay, so to be honest, I think a simple fix for this, because there's no point in doing this when we can just get a buff. Honestly, the big thing here, village. The village range, actually village range with Alchemist, I believe, will let him hit the bottom path, which is huge. I'm just going to go for Jungle Drums quick too, because I know that'll make this a lot easier. And hopefully he'll be able to hit the bottom range there with Alchemist, but I'm not quite sure if he will. If not, I believe he gets another range upgrade soon. Or at least eventually. 13 small range increase, so hopefully that'll be enough at least. If we last around to the point where he reaches level 13. Okay, so turns out regrow balloons with this are no issue. Let's use the ability for the Moab. If this doesn't work, I can save it for the ceramics, which might be a better move. Looks like it will be a better move. We could also buy $500, triple damage to Moabs. That'll make a big difference. But we'll see if we need to. So Acid will deal with most balloons. Can he shoot down here? No. That is really annoying. Hopefully for level 13 he will. If not, I might have to redo this and move him down a little bit, but hopefully not. Meantime, $500 to get to triple Moab damage, and this will be easy now. At least I hope it will. Triple Moab damage should make a big difference, and it does. There we go. No issue whatsoever.
Yeah.
So the next thing we need to do is we need a overclock. I'm not going to put you there because that will steal Alch buff, which we do not want. So that's kind of all we want. We need overclock and then probably save for promo brew. I'm assuming we're going to need overclock before we can go straight for a promo brew, but maybe not. We'll see. But I'm probably just going to get it now anyways. Okay, so I am going to use the ability for round 46 to deal with the fortified cerams. They were just looking a little too scary for me. Hopefully these balloons aren't an issue. No. Okay. So we just got overclock. That should make this a lot easier. I'm pretty surprised by how non-difficult this challenge has been. So I'm just going to double check that the overclock is permanent. I believe it should be, but we don't want to make any quick assumptions. So the next thing would be saving, hopefully for promo brew. And if not, I guess we'll have to do a call to arms beforehand. But hopefully we'll be able to go straight for a promo brew now. Overclock is indeed permanent, so I'm just going to keep doing that. And we'll wait till we have any more issues. Oops, forgot the overclock there. It's quite a big clutch by the engineer there. I mean, yeah, no, that was a clutch by the engineer. We could have easily redone that round, but nice to know we didn't have to. Okay, so we have a little bit of a regrow from here. Should be easy to avoid. Just need a little bit better ability timing, or ability timing at all. But it does start off this round unactive, so we might have to use Storm Barrage, which isn't that big of a deal. Not like it would really help us much with round 60 anyways. But he does start off this round without overclock, which could prove to be a very big issue. Storm of Arrows used quite early there, but it did deal with the beginning ceramics. This still does look like a regrow farm? No. Just one regrow balloon, which we can easily deal with. And it shouldn't regrow back to ceramic. Or, yeah, shouldn't regrow back to a ceramic anyways. Truth be told, the Engineer and Alchemist, their normal attacks, like their 000 damage, is coming in very useful here. I'm not even sure we'll have to use a single build against this BFB, but if we do, well, we have them. Slow it down here just to double check, but I don't think we'll need to use one. And we will. Okay, so not the end of the world. What I am getting scared about is 63. Because 62, though much easier than 63, is still a fairly tough round. And if we end up using our ability, or level 3 ability for Quincy, that could make that round a big issue. Once again, now we start off out the overclock, which is an issue. We do have to keep that in mind whenever we, well, restart. Shouldn't prove to be too big of a difference though, but we might not pop the Moabs this time. No. We leave, oh no, we just popped them all right in time. And with Quincy's level 3, that round is dealt with no problem. But 61 is a whole other issue with regrow, zebras, and a lot of them. A regrow farm was easily started on round 59, so round 61 could prove dangerous. I do not believe I needed to use Storm Veros there, but we look like we're going to be in serious trouble right now. Let's see how well we can do this. Once again, this is going to reset the overclock, which could be very fatal.
I am Quincy. Get ready to feast.
That was an iffy use of the ability, but at least it did help with the final Moabs. But now this regrow farm, is it a problem? No. Well, yes, it is. And with that, we are a little bit stuck. So I'm going to retry this a couple more times, but we might have to spend a little bit more money.
Yeah.
The issue, of course, is to a degree, we didn't have overclock up now, since we had to restart the first attempt, which could be, well, could change the game. Could be a game changer, I guess. We just want to get overclock out as soon as possible. We might have to buy level 11, which isn't the worst thing that could happen, but would not be the best either. That was not good. And we still almost died to a regrow or a regrow zebra. Let's just see if level 11 makes that big of a difference. So it could have an issue with the late game. How much does it help now? A slight increase in attack speed. The real issue here is that we had to use our level 3 last round. We could have probably done it without it, and instead use the Storm Veros, which might have made this round a lot easier than it is now. I'm going to switch to close tier just in case. We want to help deal with the regrows, and with that, we need to get good timing with our Storm Veros ability, likely for the last 2 Moabs. Storm Veros just in case, and we did it with level 11. So we did have to buy level 11.
Yeah.
Hopefully that won't cause too many issues. But to be honest, I think it might have been crucial in the long run. Round 62. I do not want to restart this round, because if I do, we will have no overclock and a big issue with the mobs. We really do want to try to focus the mobs now, because if we don't, that'll make us use our ability, which will make 63 an absolute nightmare. So hopefully we won't have to do that, but I am very nervous for the fortifieds. We need to damage the fortified balloons, so I'm going to let the alchemist and engineer probably deal with a couple of the balloons that get through, and the bounce will hopefully deal with the regrows. Back to first. We cannot restart this round, and hopefully we won't have to. And 62 is beaten with, and in case we beat, or in case we fail on round 63, which is bound to happen, we start off with overclock up. So I don't have to worry too much about this round, hopefully. So first off, it does not look like we're going to be able to beat this without an ability. That's not that surprising, but would have been nice to do it without it anyways. So if we do this right, will we be able to get Quincy's level 3 back in time for the third wave? Because if we use it for the first wave, and then we use Storm Veros for the second, do we have the level 3 back in time for the first, or for the final wave? Because if we do, then we're fine. If we don't, then we're in a serious, then we have a serious problem. Will we even be able to deal with the first wave with Storm Veros? That should deal with the second wave just fine, but it does not look like we're going to have that ability back in time for the third wave, which we definitely need. Yeah, this is not looking good for us. Of course, we could easily get past using buying level 12, but that would not go well for the long game. But this round is very challenging. We did it. Round 63 completed. Overclock back up for the start of 64. It's looking good. Hopefully we can get Quincy level 3 back in time for the end of 64, because I'm pretty sure we're going to need it for the fortified Moabs. If we can even get to the fortified Moabs, which we should be able to, but that was still pretty difficult. I mean, of course, wasn't that bad, but not the easiest challenge either. With this ability, is this going to be easy, or are we going to... Nope, definitely not much micro afterwards. Level 12 is going to be super helpful. Each arrow gets more popping power. I'm not quite sure if that's referring to pierce or damage. If it's referring to damage, that'll be huge. Pierce, well, that'll still be pretty helpful. I'm assuming it's damage, since his pierce is basically how many times his arrows bounce. But we will get to see. No matter what, level 12 will be very helpful. Do we need the ability for this cluster of Surams and Moabs? Hopefully not, but we might. I'm going to use it now since the BFBs are coming. I'm actually going to target on strong for a little bit. See if we can break the BFB shell and maybe even these Moabs a little bit before we go back to first. So that actually makes the final wave likely easier than the first wave. Hopefully we have no issues with this section.
Yeah.
Storm Veros. I think that was worth it. Hopefully that won't cause an impact on me. After we beat this round, we get level 12, which should help a lot. Hopefully this round won't be too difficult. We are now more than halfway to Pomaboo 2. Less than $30,000 off. I'm really hoping that we'll be able to get it in time for round 80 or 81. Super SRAMs are looking very dangerous, to say the least. But we shall see. So I think I'm going to do the same thing as I did, I think, for 64. So just use the ability now, and we will have no problem. Then I'm going to wait for 67, put on the overclock, and we are now level 12, which is going to make a big difference, I hope. Level 13 small range increase. You might not think will be that big of a difference, but hopefully it'll let us see the bottom track with Quincy. again, big mistake with my placing and placement, but level 13 should make it a lot easier. These fortified trams don't look like they're going to pose any threat. I honestly don't understand why people give Quincy such a hard time. He's actually a really powerful hero. His major weakness, honestly, is that his arrows do such little damage per shot, but with an Alchemist and then Overclock, of course, makes him just so much stronger. Do we need ability for here? I don't think we do. I think it's just a BFB or two. I'm gonna see. No, okay, we're fine. So I am gonna try to save the Overclock for the start of the next round, in case we fail that round. None of these rounds I think are particularly difficult, but I'm not that big of a balloons expert. I know a lot, but I don't know all that much, so hopefully there aren't any tough rounds ahead of us. I don't think there should be for a little while, but who knows? That was definitely a mistake on my part. I can probably just use the Overclock there and deal with it, or, you know, if absolutely needed, use the ability. It would still be really nice if Overclock saved when you exit out, but it doesn't, and that is definitely an issue.
Get ready to feast.
I do find it surprising that it was actually the Moabs that caused us so much trouble. I guess it's because I ran out of Overclock. So I'm going to use the Overclock this time, and will it make that big of a difference? It actually won't. Well, I'm sure with better timing, it'll work out fine. Hopefully that means, though, that we should try our very best to beat round 71 first try, which means if we need to use an ability, we should use it. Otherwise, that could make the round a lot more difficult, you know, without Overclock.
Get ready to feast.
Just making sure that with Overclock, that's all we need to do, and it looks like that's it. But hopefully round 71 won't cause us any problems or troubles, I guess. It does look like we will be able to get Perm Roof around 80, but we'll have to, you know, not spend any more money. Next round we're going to reach level 13. Hopefully that'll help a little bit, but I have to find out. This is looking a little bit scary. Might want to use the ability for the Moabs, and more dangerously, to be honest, the ceramics afterwards. Do we need an ability here? It looks like we might. Gonna use it there just in case. We will get Overclock back in time. That's not that surprising. Does the ability stay for these Moabs? No, it doesn't. That's really, well, that's a big issue. Hopefully we don't need it, and it doesn't look like we do. Okay. Same issue here, though, for round 72. Overclock will not be up if we can't beat this round, but we do have the extra range, which does look like we'll just have the tiniest bit of track that we're able to shoot. Next round, arrows do quad damage to world class balloons, or not next round, but next level. That'll also make a big difference. So we should be able to deal with the ceramics, and the bouncing of the arrows should, you know, help with the BFBs. Gonna use Overclock, and then we should have no problems after that, correct?
Careful.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. We might need a... Yeah, we should probably use the ability for the Moabs at the end of the stage, but we will see. Hopefully not, but if we need to, not the end of the world. You know what, I'm just going to use it just to be safe, because they are getting a little bit too close to exit for comfort. Plus, that means we have the ability to start off this round, which is probably a good thing, since this looks like that's the entire round. Well, round 73 is definitely easy. Nope, there's a BFB afterwards. Is that it? 2 BFBs. Is that the end of our challenge? A Moab underneath. A little bit of a long round, that's for sure. But still looks like no issues, right? Actually, there were a lot of ceramics there. Storm Arrows, I'm gonna use it. Honestly, I think it's better safe than sorry. I would hate to have to go into Challenge Editor and do issues to fix the fact that we don't have overclock.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is bringing me back to another fear. This round should be fine, but that's not what I'm scared about. What I'm scared about is round 76. Because once again, we definitely need our abilities up for that, and I have no idea whatsoever what's on round 75. It's kind of too bad for the 70. 75 doesn't really get much credit, nor do I guess most of these rounds. Is that enough to make the difference? Can he see down there? Yes, he can. That's pretty awesome, but I did use the ability. Whatever, it'll come back in time. Hopefully. It'll hopefully come back in time. We did not reach level 14, which I was expecting to reach for this round. We will for 76, but that won't really help us for 76. Hopefully, we have no need to use any abilities for this round, but it looks like we might. This is definitely a little bit scary. Can we deal with the ceramics there? No, we can't. Or at least not well. We're gonna redo this round. Hopefully we won't have any issues. If we do, we can maybe see about using an ability, but it's not looking good, that's for sure. I guess we could also buy level 14, but I'm really hesitant because I would like to get, I would like to get Chroma Boost as fast as possible, as soon as possible, because that causes quite a few issues. I do apologize if you hear a dog in the background. There's a dog in my house, I'm sorry. Okay, let's see if a little bit of my growth all that's needed. Maybe I can do strong at some point. No, strong will focus the BFBs. I'll find something that focuses the Moabs, hopefully. Too bad there isn't a fog targeting for balloons, because there's a close targeting, but no fog. Only issue is they're not even first right now, it's the balloons that are first. But we really need that 4 to 5 Moab damage, but there is just nothing we can do to get it, I guess. We will... No, it's actually here that we're struggling now, really? No, we'll beat this, so we will have level 3 up. I'm probably just going to use level 3 and then use Storm of Arrows for 76. Because to be honest, I don't see much micro that would have helped there. Did we put ourselves in a pickle right now? Yes, we did, and we cannot use Storm of Arrows for the can. Well, let's keep on walking then. Let's try to hold off on the ability for a little bit, maybe use it now. And target strong for a sec, which doesn't help because the BFB just isn't in range. First, no, it is this wave that we're having our issues with. What do we do now? What do we do? What if mobs pop early this time? That messes with me, right? No, it doesn't. It lets us push the ability cooldown even further back, which is actually super helpful. Do we even need it for the single 4 to 5 mob? It looks like we do, but we can put it off a little bit later so that it might have... No, there's no point in putting it off later. It just won't make that big of a difference. Or will it? No, that did not make that big of a difference.
Get ready to feast.
Oh no. You know what? I think this is the perfect time to take a break. I'm gonna come back to this challenge for part 2, so make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, all that stuff. And I'm gonna continue off here probably